Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We've got Jordan Foley and Tyler Hood in studio.
I gave you the siren. I gave you the siren that time. That's how we do it now.
Ooh.
Good to see you guys. What's going on, y'all?
Good to see y'all too. Thanks for having us back.
Yeah, we're just, plugging away.
Yeah.
Anytime we get Jordan Foley and the Tyler Wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Where's
the wheel,
the rest?
the wheel hood.
Where are the other wheels?
Yeah,
Where are they?
Working.
The other spokes. I'm
We're
this is
both
my lunch
working
break.
right now.
Yeah.
Right on.
We're
You're both
the clock.
supposed to be working.
Right.
Right?
This is the air, right?
Turn
Yeah.
off the live stream or what?
This is just for us in here, right?
Yeah. Oh, this is live right now?
Technically.
Technically.
I'm
glad I had my
out.
review last week and not.
Oh, so you're good now. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna forget this by next quarter.
Exactly.
There you go.
So how's touring been? How's this is the last time we talked to
Yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah.
Any new things going on?
A lot. Yeah, we went on tour back in October. We went up through Atlanta, played to 5 people on a Wednesday night. That was
Oh
fun.
man, was it bad? Like
No, I mean, we had a great set.
I mean, we don't have any like demo really in Atlanta.
Yeah,
or,
we
like,
had
any
never
kind of-
played in Atlanta.
Yeah. So
well,
it was,
Tyler and I have, but like as
Yeah.
a band, we. Yeah.
So does it make
we went
you? I'm curious about this because you guys have played a million times. So
Sure.
but still, like when you go into a venue and there is a small amount of people there, does it affect your mood? Like, are you like mad about that? How do you feel?
it does for me.
Are
Like
you
if
like,
I
we're
Yeah.
wasting our
Sure.
goddamn time?
Sure.
if I
crazy.
may, when I show up to a show and the band is on stage and I look and there's 5 people, I'm like, without even hearing a note, I'm like, these guys suck.
Right. You're buying a beer just to throw it. Yeah.
I'm totally joking.
Yeah.
No,
but
but
I
I
do
mean,
think
it's-
there is an element of like,
Sure.
Yeah.
that is what I think you think as a performer, right?
Well, it's
Right,
cool
right.
because it built up. I mean, that was the first show of the whole leg, the whole tour, and then it just got better from there. So it was a rude awakening for me because I've never been on a tour.
Okay.
Like that was
really?
my first time. Yeah, I mean, I've traveled around and played in different states a little bit here and there, but I haven't done like a 5-night every night we have a show.
Oh, right.
I haven't done
Get
that
in the
before,
van,
and the whole band has, and so it was new for me to walk into Atlanta and be like, it's a Wednesday night and there's really not a lot of people, but we still had fun. We still
And
had
the
a good
band
time.
was like, but that's because of you.
Yeah.
It's because you didn't promote it.
Wouldn't not us.
But
We're the real boys.
it is tough when you have an opener who traveled from Nashville and we had to
And
pay him
killed
for
it.
gas money.
Yeah.
We had to
Absolutely killed it. We were like,
dude,
oh,
take
we're
care.
sorry, buddy.
Yeah, he was so good.
Is that the venue promising we're gonna promote the night or whatever?
Well, that
I'm
can
sure it's
happen,
hard.
yeah.
It's a lot of things. It's a Wednesday night.
It's a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Because I
In a city you'd never play in.
Exactly,
Right,
and
yeah.
then so you don't have any relationship with maybe this venue, and you don't know these people, the
Right.
promoter, and it's like when you work with someone for the first time, you have no idea what you're showing up to.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, I've never thought about that with a band. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, from my experience with the rest of the guys, we were kind of road warriors for a long time, and would do big North American runs, and just 10 of us in a 15-passenger van, just for 6 weeks at a those kinds of tours. And we learned early on, because you got to play almost every night of the week to make it to the next town, the gas, whatever it may be. You're just you have to. You can't just play Friday through Thursday through Saturday or whatever. And so we learned early on that at the very least, if there's nobody there because it's a Tuesday and you're not surprised and you've never played Cleveland before, is to impress the sound guy or sound girl, because they'll remember you, and the next time you're in town, they'll put you on a cooler show. Or they'll let you know when there's a cooler show.
You get someone
in town.
inside.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You and I
somebody
were
who's
sort of talking about this with in our world, the micro things
Yes.
that you do to
Or the
prepare
bartender,
for the next time.
or somebody that works
You
or
wanna-
lives in that venue,
Yeah.
and they were like, oh, well, this band, hey, we have so and so coming. Are you guys going to be in? There's just more of this value to at least impressing someone that works the venue.
Yeah.
You wanna
They'll
make an
remember you, make
impression.
friends.
I've never thought about
You want to make an impression for
because
sure.
I am the type of person when we did our OLE event with Dan Cummins, very famous podcaster and
Yeah.
comedian. And
I
it all-
saw him in college.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's such a nice man. But the fact that it all fell apart. So what did I do? Like a mature human, I went backstage and I drank as many Coors Lights as I could get my hand on,
Yeah.
because I knew that this was terrible and I just needed to curb my own anxiety.
Yeah.
Not the right thing to do. It
No.
would have been better to just go out there and try to impress anybody.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right,
just
right.
save the night, right? Because
Yeah.
you never know who's watching, or
That's the thing.
You want to make
you
an
know?
impact or an impression.
One
That's
of those 5 people
valid
could be
point.
someone that could get you on the next touring act's cool
Yeah.
gig in town or something.
Yeah.
So there have been a lot of shows in my time and our time where you're playing to the other bands.
Yeah.
And so at the very least,
You're hoping the bands are
become
going to
buds
be paying
with them.
attention.
Yeah, and if they enjoy your set, they're like, "Hey, I'm going to be in so and so town or whatever with this show.
Networking.
We need another."
Networking.
Yeah, it's
Well,
rubbing the elbows.
Yeah, you look at. I don't remember if we talked about them last time, but
in a bar tab.
the band Red Clay Strays. They're out
Oh,
of
yeah.
Alabama,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
I was
they're
just
friends-
watching them on YouTube like yesterday.
Right.
Man. Like I
They're
think they released a new
so
song or
rad.
something.
They are blowing up, and
Just signed up.
they're friends of
RCA.
ours, and so it's like we got to open for them last year at Tuffy's in Sanford.
Nice.
I've been friends with their guitarist. We were in a songwriting group years ago, and then I just watched them like skyrocket. And so it's like one of those things where I'm like, hey, don't forget about us.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, like, I know you have an agent now.
Yeah, we did that with all the bigger podcasts, and they
Yeah.
forgot about it.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
reached
guess
out to
what?
Bert Kreischer. I'm like, Tom Segura, you wore our shirt. He's like, who pulled? You're a four. And I'm like, yes,
This
I
shirt was
am.
literally given to me.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had a shirt. I have a picture on my phone. Some mornings I wake up, I look at it. That's when Tom Segura was fat and remembered who we were. And now,
good
9
days.
Porsches, skinny as can be.
I mean,
I'm
he
a
doesn't
four.
need to remember anybody anymore.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Once
no.
you rock
Yeah.
it past, there's no even trying to grab a hold of their
No.
shoelaces. That once they're too far gone,
no.
Yeah.
and it blasts
You're
off.
Yeah.
sifting through
And
the
you're like,
smoke,
oh,
like,
It's not-
you try to look for the next person to blast off.
Totally.
They're
Right.
never gonna
I need
happen.
some blast off.
It's also not even about, like, we want it to be about connecting with the art. Like, it is. Like, we want to connect with other bands and musicians. But, like, if we're trying to get booked or trying to get a little bit of, like, attention, other bands, it's getting harder to, like communicate and support each other in that way because everybody has a manager or an agent. And those guys are the ones who are, like, those folks are pulling the corporate strings. if you
Yeah,
will.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
the ones who are like, I'll get you this show. And that's a great segue into how we got the Wallflowers show.
Yeah, let's talk
Is-
about
is-
that's a huge show.
Yeah, it's
right?
pretty
I mean,
big.
Like
wild.
It's
to
the-
play with and my wife and I, my wife Andrea, massive Wallflowers fan.
Right on.
Awesome.
Also, she lives every day in the 90s. So
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Of course.
Like
as
she's
one
never
should.
out of there.
The
Like,
dream.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel confident that she's listened to at least one Wallflower song every day since I've met her.
Awesome.
Which
Like-
one's her favorite?
I'm gonna say my Marlenas.
Three Marlenas. That's
Three
my
Marlenas.
favorite,
Yeah, sorry,
for
not
sure.
my Marlenas, but
My
Three
Marlenas.
Dun-dun-dun.
I threw out
Marlena.
like sort of a
Yeah.
not really a deep cut, but it is a very good song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, of course, I'm
Same. It was the same album as on One
sure.
Headlight.
Tom's a one headlight guy. They
pulled
played
that-
that at his wedding. Did you know?
Oh,
that?
right on.
I think isn't that your
This
song?
guy-
One Headlight?
This guy
Because his
is-
wife, it's a funny story. His wife said his
I don't
penis
think-
looked like a motor's a
Come
one
on,
headlight.
Don't listen to anything this guy says.
I bet Thomas
He's
just
a
like going
goddamn
around
liar.
Yeah, this is the lore.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
We're getting all the lore.
But
well,
yeah, so that with the Wallflowers show, it's the first show that like I have not booked. Like I kind of have an agent guy who's working for us now and working with us. Shout out to Jay, and he tried getting us on Willie Nelson, and
wow.
like pushed for that, and that fell through. It's Willie Nelson. It's kind of like we were just like the fact that like we're even being considered is a pretty wild.
Sure, if
deal.
you're in the
Yeah.
pile and you make it a few rounds, I
Yeah,
figure
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're all right.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like a cool, like, if I get drunk enough, I'm going to be like, guess what? I
Yeah.
almost opened. for
Sure, it's
this."
like an
yeah, you got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll be
almost.
grandparents. Like this one time, I almost opened up for Willie
Yeah.
Nelson. They're like, "Who are you? Who is Willie Nelson?"
Tom saw him. You were at that show,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh, Amos
Yeah.
Lee. Amos
Yeah.
Lee was the opener.
Yeah.
So, that was my
They
birthday.
chose
too.
Amos
That
Lee over.
was, Amos Lee over us. You got to be kidding
That's
me.
amazing.
But like that happened, and then Jay, like, literally 2 weeks later was like, how about the Wallflowers? And I was like, how about them?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you want to open for him? I was like, do I want to? And I just started like bawling my eyes out. I was like,
Really?
I'm
That's
opening for the Wallflowers.
Do the Wallflowers have any say in that? How does that?
I don't think so.
Okay,
So
it's just,
there's a company, there's an agency, AEG, that
Are-
books bigger shows for like the Plaza Live and the Southeast region, and Jay had a contact there.
Yeah, I think it's one of those situations where if the touring package doesn't have openers
have
or
an
doesn't,
opener
it's
then
a
they just
one-off
fill
show.
the spots.
They'll
Exactly.
find locals that may have some draw, may not. Just more of like, or they'll have the buddy that throws the name in an email and like, yeah, that works. Whatever.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I
They'll
like
get 25
saying from
minutes.
now on, and I'm going to force everybody, at least under this roof, to say it. From now on, we do not say opening bands. We say with support by.
Direct support.
You gotta
Direct
say, yeah.
support.
You gotta
Direct
say direct support.
We're supporting the Wallflowers.
Yeah.
It just gets a little gray when you're like on a 50-band festival bill and you're like, oh, we opened for the headline, and you're like at the 11:30 a.m. slot. You're like, oh, we're supporting.
But I think it sounds cooler though. It sounds like
absolutely.
It sounds like you have weapons.
Right.
You know,
we're playing backup. Yeah,
I heard that.
We're bouncing. We're bouncing the show.
Like 2 nights ago or something, or maybe it's tonight. Metalachi with Gargamel opening up.
Oh, cool.
Gargamel,
Yeah,
And it was
Will's
like
Pub.
Gargamel with support by Gargamel. And I was like, they're gonna have their guns.
Right.
I love the way that sounds.
Yeah.
So let's talk business for a second because this is what I'm curious.
I wanted to do more creative art. I want to do some.
We did the art. We
didn't
talked
do any art.
Take turns. Take turns.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to the art because you guys are gonna
It's just like my
play.
daughter is like take turns. Is like she gets 5 turns.
Right.
Because I'm thinking of like, all right, the grind of going and touring and being on the road and playing these venues, and like sometimes they're stinkers, sometimes great. It's usually a roll of the dice. For a lot of times.
This venue's a stinker.
And then all I could think about is someone like Oliver Anthony, right? So, and not that it has anything to do with you guys, but I'm thinking about a guy that just played guitar in the woods one day and put a song up, and then
I think he played it more than one time.
I know. Yeah, I'm
It
sure.
wasn't like
It was take 14.
It wasn't like he was like, fudge rounds, and everybody was like,
Throw him the money. Well, that's kind of what happened. At the end of the day, now
is he really rich though?
He is now.
Is he though? I don't know if he is.
He's
I
rich.
want to see that
Yes.
tax return.
Who cares about the dollar amount? He's rich with promotion.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. And so, and if he wants
his name,
if he wants to turn that into dollars, he can.
Right.
Obviously, he's turned down some offers. So, you don't want to get political, but whatever he's done, his explosion, his viral video exploded into now he can make probably a living off this for at least the next 10 years. Probably
He's doing a speed stick ad like Method Man and Redman. He is. That's breaking news.
No way.
No, I made that up.
Oh man.
So
I didn't even know his speed stick was around still.
He's bringing it back.
That's because you're old, man.
now this is
50-year-old man.
This may not be something you guys are even interested, but I'm thinking like if I was part of the wheelhouse, I would be.
Since you tried to be trumpet player for the wheelhouse.
I want content.
I would just say, all right, let's hire some social media videographer, right? Like some kid that out of school that wants to, whatever, and
Let's
then
find a place in the woods.
let's just grind. Let's just grind out 1,000,000 different things, and then put them out. And then if one of them hits, that could be worth 10 million tours.
Right.
Or
You better
whatever.
soundbite this right now.
It's the
We need
trolling
to
thing.
soundbite that so that it'll cut to us playing in the woods.
We're actually here to promote our wood sessions.
yeah, we're promoting our wood
And you're
sessions.
dressed like fudge round.
Now, here's where the soul-sucking part of it comes. That this is just my
the
business.
part,
The
yeah.
business
he loves
habit.
this part, by the way.
And then we're like, again, I'm part of the wheelhouse, and I'm just like, all right, guys, I know this is not what we're into, but we gotta put some coal mining lyrics in there.
Right.
So
We
put
gotta-
on your fudge round costumes and get out there. And today's song is going to be called Blue Collar Johnny. Come on, attitude.
And we're
Yeah.
gonna put some
Yeah.
keywords in there,
Yeah.
and I know we don't really want to do that, but it's just like, and then we're gonna hit.
Hey, I'm a true blood patriot. True blood patriot.
Not that
Right,
far,
right.
not that far.
Okay, not that far. I went too far.
It's not that far.
I just got kicked out of the wheelhouse. I was in for one.
Tom's out because he tried to bring himself in.
But we can say the words "true" and "blood" close together at some point.
We're vampires. But we're vampires.
Right. Here we go.
Then we
That's
throw
the
in-
workaround.
We're
Yes,
vampires. We're
yes.
conservative vampires.
Yeah. Then we'll throw in
Conservative
some
vampire.
environmental thing over here. Just so maybe that will hit on one side. Oh, we don't care. We just want to make the money.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so is there anything to like about that business model that is worth anything?
You're like, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
How does this look?
As he's catching his breath. So thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, we push content as much as we can.
Do you get tired of it? I'll throw you in, for
Yeah.
instance, it's on the same level as what you guys are doing. Our good friend, comedian Akeem Woods. he's really vocal, but only on Facebook because he
sure.
knows it's older.
Right,
He's
right,
real
right.
vocal on Facebook about how much he hates doing social media. I mean, he
Is he-
laments about how, like, I'm a comedian, I write jokes, but I got to do this video, I got to do this crowd work, I got to do this radio show, I got to do this podcast, I got to do photos, I got to do headshots, I got to do outfits.
Does he do the dating in Sanford? What's it like?
No, that's Mr. 407.
That's Mr. 407, Kevin
Oh, that's
Dean.
right.
Yeah, we know
Dave.
him as well too.
Yeah, I saw him on your show one time.
Yeah.
But it is like it's a push and pull because you post something and you try to find your timing, your demographic. How am I going to attract an audience to like and watch said video or said post? And
Without baiting them in with,
and that's something that I'm constantly
here's our
finding.
video of us in the woods.
Well, I'm finding now that
and all I can think about now is making videos of the woods.
Well, instantly within a few weeks of that song blowing up, I personally just scrolling through whatever saw 20 different versions of someone in the woods with just them and a guitar. Like it's something strikes gold and everyone's they're
it's
trying
a
to
matter of
find
trying
it.
to, It's a matter of trying to find what works.
I'm still trying to get my Ice Bucket Challenge video up there.
It's been in my drafts for
I can't even
however
figure
many
out
years.
how to upload it. I'm trying to how do I have it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's been on my phone for 7 years.
Yeah.
What's working for us right now is my fiance Mariah. Every time I put a post up that she's in, likes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool. Well, we just got engaged. So that was like another big everybody was like, "Oh, we love that for you." So it was like, and then I'll put out a video of me
capitalize on it,
covering a song, or here's the new song I wrote, and it's like 5 likes.
Yeah.
And so then you start to see like this bounce back. And
Here's
forth.
your new song, Mariah wrote?
Mariah.
Yeah. Oh, like.
Yeah.
Here's
so-
me singing the new song I wrote with each of my wife's boobies on either side of my shoulder behind me.
Right.
I don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah. So that's just like a prime example of just, it's just being active. My thing with social media is just be as annoying as I can be, however that ends up being. I try to be creative. I have done there was one years ago before the band even started where I had a show and I set up the camera and I was just playing the guitar in the backyard and I walked into the camera. I was like, "Hey, I have a show," and that was it.
Yeah.
Like that was the post.
Yeah. I
So,
always have a problem doing those though. I
It's
didn't
hard.
used to.
Yeah.
I used to get my tripod out, put the
I do a million
phone on
takes.
there, and then I would talk to. Remember, I used to do new music that I was liking. This
Yeah.
is I don't know, 20 years ago. Do these videos, and
Yeah.
edit them and put them on YouTube. And then for whatever reason now at this age, I don't know if it's because I had a kid, because I'm older, because when I start looking into it, even right now. If I'm looking into a camera and acting like a fool, I'm like, you shouldn't be doing that. It's weird. It's like a switch in my brain.
Right.
And I got to get rid of it because I used to it didn't matter. But for some reason, a line was drawn in the sand. And if I'm like, "Hey guys, it's my Instagram," well, I'm like, shut the F
Go
up.
home, Dad. Yeah.
I get mad at myself when I do that.
I do a lot of takes because I'm like, Bob, that take might have been all right. They could probably use another one.
Yeah. And here, in my opinion, there is no. You don't know what's going to pop, and I think with Oliver Anthony, with that song specifically, it was also the content
driven.
itself, like the
Oh,
actual
It was politically
lyrics.
driven.
But regardless of it struck a nerve
It hit
one
a
side
nerve.
or the other. Like
Yeah.
that was the driving
It
factor.
made people listen because
Made people
it had
talk about it.
something to say. that was
I'm always just
poignant.
fascinated with people with bright red hair.
Right.
That's part of it.
Like-
That all plays into some
They're
micro
special to me.
calculation of why it went viral.
I want to collect
Also,
Yeah.
also 5
What's
years.
this one up to?
All right, Cartman.
them.
5 years. And there's this weird thing where 5 years from now or 5 years earlier from when that song hit, then it may not have done nothing.
It
You
is.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's
1,000 things lining up at
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
time.
But my
Timing is
favorite-
Thread the
everything.
needle. Yeah.
I mean,
Crazy.
Oliver Anthony doesn't even matter. My favorite, absolute favorite, that I still think about every morning when I wake up is when the Island Boys went gay for each other.
Oh yeah.
man,
That's the
wild.
best one.
That's in the
dude.
bag.
It's
We'll just
still-
There
we're
is
holding on to that
nothing-
one.
There's
Yeah.
nothing better than
I saw
simulated
one of-
sex with
one
your
of their-
identical twin brother.
That's a lot. But one of them,
Bruh.
one of their girlfriends, got them tattooed on her face. I saw recently.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
That was the most recent.
Oh, you got me
wild.
back in.
We don't need
Jordan.
to. Yeah, I mean, Island
Yeah.
Boys.
That was the first session. The second session is the other brother kissing that one. on her face. Yeah.
He kissed the tattoo?
Right. No, I'm saying like that. The
They
second
straight
session of
up
that tattoo
made out with each
would
other.
be like the
Oh,
other
yeah, they
brother
make out with
kissing.
it.
Yeah, it's
Have you
wild.
seen the banana video? Watch that one.
No,
The
I'm
banana
out.
videos. Whew.
But
you're twins, man.
but then it's
why are you doing that?
But then there's also tons of influencers that don't make any money, and then like the actual your viewers really are. The value of them depends on what your content even is to begin with. So it's like you could have 1 million viewers worth nothing.
Yeah.
You could have 1,000 viewers worth 10,000 a month.
Right.
It's just crazy.
It's all just different currencies, depending on how your audience is set up.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and you never know what is going to take off and why, and you can't control it once it's out there. I was just watching a video. I don't know if you've seen on TikTok. There's this kind of trend going on. It's weird to call it a trend, but like of these kind of really sad videos of like the last couple of days of someone's pet, and there's always the same song that plays.
Yeah.
And the guy that wrote that song posted a video of like, I just put the song into the world, and now it's synonymous with everyone's dog dying. And like,
God.
This was not the intent of the song. What do I do with this? I've
no.
got millions of streams now, but now the song is like, you put it out in the world, you don't know what's going to happen to it. And that for him, he was like,
So how do you
damn it.
capitalize on it? Let's just brainstorm. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking that guy can tour, and people can bring their elderly dogs to him and have them die at the concert while he sings the song.
Exactly.
It's going to be hard to
You
orchestrate.
can capitalize
But
anything.
if you capitalize with like a veterinarian, right, and you have the
Yeah.
veterinarian on hand with the yellow liquid and the syringe,
Yeah.
which I'm convinced is antifreeze. No one's told me differently, but they say they give it to them originally just to relax them. But
Yeah.
if you partner with that, you could do that.
He can do a funeral tour.
You need a lot of trash bags
But it's
and
true,
some
like,
barrels.
on the creative side, like when you write a song, you don't know how it's going to connect to people, so you have to make sure you like it first. Like that's Terry Binion, who's local singer-songwriter
Such a
in town.
good songwriter.
She's amazing. She straight up, that was like one of her biggest pieces of advice for me was like, don't write something that you just want everybody else to like. Like write it for you first, and then like push it out there and see if people like it. Like we'll play a new song for you today that like it's nowhere to be found. We haven't posted it yet. We haven't like put it out there yet, and it's a cool song. Tyler is it's actually a song that Tyler had for a while and had been holding on to, brought to the band, and we fleshed it out as a band, and we brought it on tour with us, and now it's like one of our favorite songs to play. But like we love it, and so we hope others will when the time comes. So that's like something that as a songwriter on the creative side of things, I'm always paying attention to like I like it, and if you like it, great. Just let me know or like give it a listen. Or,
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
idea of,
struggle
like,
with that. A
write
lot
your
of-
favorite kind of music.
A lot of the things that I find entertaining or funny, like a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
And I do struggle with that a lot, especially as I get older, because it just makes it seem like the window is shutting,
Right.
and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like it does feel like I'm like this window is closing, and I
always
still
wonder-
like these weird things.
Yeah.
I always wonder. I listen to a lot of music on the regular, like new music that's coming out.
Bragging.
Yeah, it's cool brag. But like, I always wonder when is there going to become a point where I'm going to be like, all right, this isn't music for me anymore. Like, I'm just going to stick into the buzz rock era of
Find your
Creed and
cutoff
Three Doors
point,
Down,
yeah.
and that's it for me.
I'm not there yet, but I do
I never
find
left.
there are tendencies.
There are
where
moments where
he
I'm
knows
like,
I queue up every what is it, Tuesday or Friday? I'm listening. I'm
Yeah.
going through
Yeah.
everything, even if it's garbage pop, even if it's electronic,
Yeah.
country, Spanish music. I go through it and just Bad Bunny. I'm like, well, I need to know what that is.
Right.
You know,
What's
like,
going on right
Well,
now?
Yeah, why do people love that so much?
Yeah.
I like it.
I
You
was-
know, it's just not
Catchy.
for me, but it's
I'm-
super catchy.
I'm glad you brought that up because I had a theory about this where, you know, the stereotype, and I'm like this, where it's like everybody, the music they listen to in high school is the music they listen to the rest of their
I
lives.
made a
you
joke
know?
about Andrea and with
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Wallflowers. I mean, yes, she can
Yeah.
quote so many songs from
And-
that band.
But I think that had somewhat to do with the only way people consumed or even was exposed to new music was through traditional giant media sources like
Right,
the radio
yeah.
or television, right?
Right.
And then that moved on without them because it moved on to appealing to the younger generation and stuff. So all the old generations like, oh, that's not my music, so I'm used to listening. But now we have the internet and these algorithms, and we're
Yeah.
getting exposed to music that we like.
so much content.
So
out there.
then because I feel like people are still making music for you or that you like
Yeah.
somewhere in the world. You
Right.
just don't know. You're not
You gotta
exposed to
find it, yeah.
But now, because of the internet, you could be exposed to that the rest of your life. So
Yeah.
if like you're listening to something on Spotify, it's going to constantly send you bands that are like that
Right.
your rest of your
Yeah.
life because no
Yeah.
one's going to stop.
But
Like people
do
are
you-
still making
this
old
bubble
school
that you're
country.
put in,
Do
yeah.
you get tired of that though? Because like for me, if I'm listening to the same music over and over again, I go off of mood. kind of like what Dan was saying with like knowing like, you know, hey, I want to listen to this or I want to listen to that. Like I go off of mood and how I'm feeling. And so there are sometimes like that's kind of why I've been on a big Creed kick for like the last 2 years.
Like 17 years. Yeah.
My whole life. But like there's like it was like I reverted back to my middle school ways of like I watch wrestling again.
It's fun.
I want to
yeah.
listen to like music that's nostalgic to me. I
Yeah.
started collecting Star Wars figures that like when I grew up, that was like when I was growing up, I was like that was something I was really
like
into.
that.
So there was like I don't know if that's my midlife crisis of like I'm getting there of like that's like what I'm leaning towards, but there is something about nostalgia lately that has like tapped into in my mind of like let me go back and visit some things that I was into a long time ago.
For me, it's
but,
like things that don't like right now. I'm reaching for music that gives me that feeling.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if I can't find it, then I'll do exactly what you're saying.
Start looking.
And I'll go backwards and like
Yep.
backwards engineer and use the music as a feeling. For instance, I can go right with exactly what you're saying. It's not something that I would load up. It's not something that I love. But I know my dad had an 8-track of the Gatlin brothers,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
all
wow.
the gold, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
like
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
went and I found the 8-track, but because it was a compilation, like a best of, and I went, I put it on, and exactly what you're saying. It was
Yeah.
just like it hit me, and I was like, oh, that feels so nice. That's
Yeah.
like it's like a blanket, or
Yeah, yeah.
It
or
is.
or even like a drug.
Yeah.
It is a releasing of chemicals, especially for someone like me. He and I talk about this all the time. I know our listeners get sick of it. I am the emotional one.
Sure.
But you were walking with me, 2 days ago when we were talking about something sad, and you could see the freaking goosebumps on my arms because I'm such a.
It makes you feel something.
I'm a weak human. I'm just a weak human. So weak.
It's triggering your brain to release a chemical that's giving
Yeah.
you goosebumps, and that's what it all is. But
Yeah.
but even like so you're listening to the Gatlin brothers, but then now because the internet and like algorithms, they'll show you new bands that are producing music like the Gatlin
Yeah.
brothers
You'll
now.
also like.
Yes.
Yeah, and
it's
then,
like, oh, you like them, you might also like.
and you'd have never heard
Yeah.
that ever in the past because
I was trying to find this
No
guy.
radio
You
station
can
is
find
playing it.
immediate similar artists.
Yeah,
You're just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, I like this thing. Let's
yeah,
see if
and
I
like
can find more of it.
Spotify literally garner, like creates their Discover Weekly based off of what you listened to in the past week.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to
and
find.
and then it shows it to you, and then you constantly
what's
are
up?
learning about
Your
new
DJ
bands.
X-
Oh, hold on. I'm doing my DJ X. I was gonna play. I found this
Oh,
guy.
yeah, the AI.
Yeah,
thing.
the AI. It's not bad, but I found.
enjoy it,
I
yeah.
found a guy.
He always
yesterday.
checks in and makes me a little like, hey, how's it go? Just checking in. How's the music?
Hold on, what is this?
It's the AI DJ on Spotify.
DJ
I've been
X.
telling you about this
DJ
for months.
X.
I've been using this for almost like beta testing
Yeah,
it for like
same.
a year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I've never heard it.
Oh, he sounds like a black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that, and I made jokes about it. I was like, "Oh, great! Of course they made the DJ like, hey, what's up, Daniel? It's me, DJ X."
DJ
I'm like,
X.
"Okay,
Yeah.
well, I mean,
well, they're not going to make it a British guy. Like, what do you want?
that's an excellent point."
I'd be like,
I'm going to play some music for you.
But it did make me laugh because I was like, the guys in the boardroom were definitely like, "Hey, we need him to be cool. Make him a black guy." I know what they were doing.
Right.
I
Yeah,
just-
they're like, that's the business.
but yeah, here he said this. Is what he sounds
On
like.
with some stuff that was all you back in 2022. Here's
Oh, yeah.
Billy Joe.
So I'm gonna put some
Yeah.
Billy Joe, and that's what he sounds like.
and
but
so
anyway,
that's AI.
It's AI, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all AI.
Like, it's not a real person.
It's not a real person. That's DJ
This
X.
still blows my mind.
Shout out to DJ X. So
Yeah.
he put on a Michael McDonald song, and then he said, he's like, here's somebody you'll like, and it was this new guy, and he's not new, but it was like Solomon, and I'm blanking on his last name. Multi-instrumentalist. He's one of those guys that's like a jazz cat. Everything he's like Mono Neon or what's the other bass player? Thundercat.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
Jacob
in-
Collier kind of.
Yeah, he's in that realm of like, hey, we can play yacht rock like by ourselves. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
one-man
yeah.
yacht rock band.
Yeah.
And they put it on, and I started listening to him. I'm like, holy S, this is so good. I started liking all of his songs. I looked up how many people are following him. Less than 20,000. And I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like, what? I
Yeah.
was rattled.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
was like, it was as good as anything. It's like
exactly.
top tier level yacht rock, best produced. He does a run on the keyboard. He's a one-handed soloist. He does this run that I'm like, that is as good as any jazz you would see anywhere.
Yeah.
20,000 people
And it's
following
because
him.
there's so much.
20,001.
Yeah.
I
So
followed him.
much.
I followed him.
We talked about this before with you guys that like there's just so much music out there
Yeah.
that like how do you stand out? You know, so like our goal, like kind of going back to what you were asking, it's like we just want to put out the stuff that we like, and if you like it, awesome.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna come to see us, if we're gonna get booked a show at the Wallflowers, well, we must be doing something. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like we're still trying to figure out like what that is, but like okay, like let's tap in then. Let's, you know, like while we want to come here and promote the show, at the same time we're getting to play with the Wallflowers. Those guys are gonna bring in. We get to just play.
Yeah, we're not really swaying the attendance.
Right.
We're not like,
Right.
man, we really need people to come out to
honest
this
here.
local
We got to sell
underground
pre-sales, so they're going to
show.
charge us. No, like they got a crowd, so it's
Yeah.
more of the privilege of being
Now
able
we
to
just
play
have
for
to actually.
their crowd.
We just
Yeah.
have to play well.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not
really
planning
well.
on that though.
Speaking of that, do you guys want to play something?
Yeah,
we're
down
down.
to that.
Absolutely.
Okay. How do we want to do this, buddy?
Well, let's we'll take an audio break for a second, and then
Okay.
we'll come back.
I like
All right,
that.
all right.
Audio break is now.
All right, I figure you
That
guys.
was like
are-
30 on the
Oh,
dot
yeah.
too. Nice.
That was well done.
Perfect. And then I'll just dial that back, and then I'll start us right there. And you guys can get ready and do whatever you need to do. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you guys.
That's great.
That was good.
Do you want me to go ahead and save that? Or, I mean, it's a full...
Well, I figure we could just come back and play, and if they play, and then
and then split it later as one item, you think?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that'd be better. Okay, great.
We getting,
I'm going to use the bathroom while...
anybody trashing?
No, absolutely not. They're when they're listening, they're quiet.
Oh, I'm Jelly Roll. Jelly Rolls on the show.
Oh my
don't
God!
read that.
You motherfuckers! Are you all embarrassing it all about? Who said that? I can't read the goddamn thing.
His music isn't my music.
I mean, what the fuck? You motherfuckers! Chat room, their jokes. They're reading it. I'm sitting here live.
Say it's the Jelly Roll.
You guys are at work typing your jokes.
Yeah.
I
Tom's like, I'll get you.
Yeah, the problem is everybody's
what they say about me.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us back on your show.
I know. It's like that's why Tom says don't let anybody. I should minimize the chat room for anybody comes in.
He's the one artist that everybody keeps going. You ever heard of Jelly Roll?
People do that.
I love his music.
Yeah, people do that. Like we had him in here, and we had him and Struggle Jennings in here, and they were both really, really super nice guys.
But it was back when
He was a
even they were
rapper
doing
then. He
rock.
wasn't doing really much of the country.
But I think he was doing some of it. He was dabbling in it at the time, right?
Yeah, well, you always dabble in it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then that was another one you see. You're like, oh, this shit is where it's at. There's the money rocket.
Yeah.
You're looking at the Grammys.
Oh, Jesus, Daniel, you're so bad at this. God damn, Daniel. That's better. And then I'm gonna get up and move that guy just a little bit for Tyler.
You got that reverb.
I can put some on.
And before we start again, I'm curious to I'm sure you guys have had the conversation what if some shit hits, and we put a song out there, and all of a sudden it's a hit on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing because in the old school industry, if something was a radio hit or big the money was already built into where you parlay that into.
Right.
The internet is all of a sudden oh, you've got 10 million views on a song you put out, and then no money immediately, but then you have to turn that into money.
Exactly.
Monetize.
And then so obviously it's okay, then you turn that into bigger venues with more ticket sales, and it's hey, we're coming, and then but it's you almost need a promoter in each place to promote that you're going there, and
Right.
the hookups with the radio stations to get you in to promote the goddamn show, and then it's I'm sure there's someone that would probably come to you and take a percentage of.
Gordon Gecko, can you grab that microphone over there? Sorry, I'm fucking with him. But he smiled, and that's all I was going for, is a smile. If I can get a smile out of my favorite boy. Oh, that's perfect, T. Thank you, buddy. Push that mic all the way. Yeah, and then angle it down. There you go. All right, that's going to be better. Let me kill the effect. on our voices. All right. Okay. All right, Mr. Van. We good, buddy?
Yep.
Hold on. Hold on. Piece of shit. Piece of shit. Okay. All right, I think we are good to go, Mr. Van. I love that buzz in the background. Javier's, and he knows Tyler and Jordan are here.
He's just parking them over right outside the window.
All right.
Just one spot. Gotta get this one spot.
I'll kill that. All right, we're restarting. Here we go. In 3, 2.
All right, we're back and everybody's set up to go. So Jordan, Tyler, ready when you are.
Ooh, I like that.
Right on. Yeah, this is a new song called Not Today.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Walk away. There's no use in turning around. Not today. And I'll give it no more ground. Who's to say if I wasted all this time when every drop's a curse? Blood on my pillow, fingers stained yellow, brains in a jar of Jameson. This used to be the highlight, and now I can't get it right. You think I'd turn this car around? Oh, not today. Such a fool, and I know something's gotta give. Fell off that stool, and in this filth I'm sinking. I broke my own rule. Have I lost the will to live when every drop's a curse and every fight hurts? Blood on my pillow, fingers stained yellow, brains in a jar of Jameson. This used to be the highlight, and now I can't get it right. You think I'd turn this car around? Blood on my pillow, fingers stained yellow, brains in a jar of Jameson. This used to be the highlight, and now I can't get it right. You think I turn this car around? Oh, you think I turn this car around? Oh, not today. Oh, not today.
All right.
Wow, that was awesome, y'all.
Thank you.
Well done, man.
Thank
Man,
Wow,
you got a
very
good
much.
voice.
Yeah, you really
Thank
do.
you.
You
Thank
should
you so much.
should keep doing that. You should
Keep saying
you
it.
should keep it up. You should
We
keep
should start a
working on
band.
that.
So-
One of these days, man. One of these days.
As I'm listening to that song, I don't know if you've seen this on, speaking of social media, but
Ooh, that sounded
They-
like the bird flu.
they
They have it in Texas. I'm telling all of our listeners.
I've seen a lot of social media videos recently of bands, like old school footage of them coming up with songs.
Yeah.
Like it's like footage that they shot of them just messing around in the studio or like sitting in a house and
Right.
like someone's got a guitar. I've seen all the Blink 182 recently and some other stuff, and it's like this is now popular. Like, oh, this is the beginning of this song.
Yeah.
This
This
has turned
the
out popular.
origin story.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Man,
I
my
love
wife
that.
bought Kurt Cobain's book when it
Yeah.
had all the.
I did too.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
I got
she
it
like,
too.
oh, it's like a precious thing.
But I don't open it. It's so dark.
yeah, it's real
It's
nasty
twisted.
in there.
But-
Yeah, it's gross.
But now, because everybody has cell phone cameras, we're seeing bands and famous songs and the initial
Yeah.
start of the song.
Yeah.
Or the voice memo of like, this is
Yeah.
where it started.
Yeah,
Where's
yeah.
the voice memo?
So
Yeah.
that makes me curious. Like when you're writing that song, what's your writing process? Like you start with a guitar part. You're like, oh, this is something, and then you're starting putting lyrics to it. How does that work?
Well, so I brought maybe 75% of the song to the guy. It was a rehearsal where it was like, yeah, we don't really have anything
We
to
were ready
do
to
tonight.
just have a jam
yeah.
night.
Anybody have anything? And I was like, well, I've been kind of sitting on this for a while, kind of idea.
Wait a minute, write that down. You guys do meetings?
Weird.
I mean, since Samantha left, I mean, we walk in, we don't talk, and then it's like, you ready? Oh,
yeah,
Husband has to do good and play.
yeah. Write down meetings. That's good. That's good. We gotta chat this up.
And had the hooks and had a lot of the lyrical ideas, but had more of the melody ideas. And that's where Jordan really came in and as the great songwriter he is, and finished a lot of ideas and fleshed things out. And but that specifically started with the phrase for me. I just had this idea of like waking up extremely hungover and pissed at yourself again. You know that familiar friend.
Oh, I did
But
that.
the idea of like something happened last night, was in a fight. But the kind of phrasing of blood on my pillow, fingers stained yellow, brains in a jar of Jameson. I'm like, so that sounds like something.
Yeah.
With like bloody nose, was it a fight? I smoked too many cigarettes, fingers are yellow, and then just I'm hungover.
I like that.
And that so and then this whole idea of like I should stop doing this, and I know I should, but not today.
We were just talking about that. We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for the last 20 years.
Right.
I think.
Would this be considered anti-art because
Now,
another
is this where you do something that's sort of accidental D-headedness?
no. Okay, so again, I'm part of the wheelhouse. I don't
Right.
Every scenario.
and then we're doing
he
our
always
meeting
goes to the
from
top,
now on.
too. You never noticed that
You're
he
the
never said
sixth
like,
man.
I can help you out.
Tom,
I
are you
could
wanting
like,
to join the wheelhouse?
yeah, I can maybe move some of your equipment.
He
I
wakes
can
up the next morning. He's like,
I can
"Babe,
help with the
I'm
organization.
in the wheelhouse."
I can start booking.
So I'm
I
at
think
the,
he's just trying to get laid.
I'm at our weekly meeting. And then you guys have a bunch of you guys are
Well, we
talented
don't even
musicians.
have a meeting, but you go to the wheelhouse's meeting.
Yeah. I don't even know how I got into the wheelhouse because I'm not a musician at
And
all.
he has me drop him off. He has me drop him off at the wheelhouse. It's so insulting.
So then, but
he
I
dressed like a cowboy because he's trying to look cool like you guys. So he's dripping with he's got jade or like turquoise rings all
Yeah.
over him.
But what
and
I-
one of those lady hats.
But what I do have, I have some lyrics that I got. I'm like, all right, I got some ideas, some lyric ideas, right? So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, how about this? And
Chench in your
No, no,
yard,
no,
Mr. Tom
no.
Vance. What is it, Mr.
It
Tom
sets the guard.
Sets
which
the
means-
guard.
But anyway, so I got the lyrics, and I'm like, how about we load all these lyrics into this AI song generator, right?
No, I knew he was gonna bring it up.
And then
today.
we'll just roll it, and then we'll roll through like 10 different songs and see if any of like any hooks or any sort of like melodies like stand out, and then we'll just technically, because every song that it comes up with is our own, we'll just steal it directly from AI,
Right.
and then we'll use AI to come up with our next song.
The,
Is that gross to you guys?
no, that's a good question. 'cause-
It's a great question.
because there's guys on YouTube that I follow that are what they're doing, because we use the Suno program. We don't use it for anything other than fun. It's not a it's not a creative tool.
Sure.
Right.
But it comes up with some
It does
decent.
Sure.
It does some funny
melody
It's
stuff.
impressive.
There are guys online now
Yeah.
that are singer-songwriters. If
Sure.
they are stuck, and how you feel about this is how you feel about it. I don't really have an opinion. But they go there and they click instrumental. and they do exactly what you're saying. They go and they type country, I want it
Different
like,
genre.
yeah, I
whatever,
want like it more like 80s style.
In the style of this artist or
Sure.
this genre.
And then it will produce something, and then they use that to kind of figure out where they want to go.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that. Is that any different than going and loading up Charlie Pride, listening to that, and going, I want to write a song that sounds like Charlie
Right.
Pride? I don't know.
How do
Not
you
really.
how do you get inspired?
Right.
I mean, I think that's the number one thing. Like,
Yeah.
does that inspire you? Do you find something, innovative from that?
Oh,
that's
God. Now
great.
they're calling you Gordon Gekko in the wheelhouse.
That's cool.
That was Charles and Daniel. Charles, you're funny. You're funny, dude.
because it is weird because now it's kind of like you are, instead of coming up with yourself, you're like AI is kind of,
I feel
sparking
like
the
you are
idea.
pro AI. You wanted to
I
take
mean, there's
over.
nothing
don't
wrong with
know.
it. If you're stuck in a rut or you need something, you need to create something. I think it is definitely a helpful tool. But if you're only depending on that,
Right.
and
If
you don't
that
have
is
any
the
like,
end product.
if you're
you
not
see
like
his face
allowing
attack?
your creativity to like tap into your own psyche, like what do you have? Like,
Yeah.
I use the website to look at rhyming. Like I have a word, and it's at the end of the line, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what rhymes with this?
using
And,
tools and-
and my fiance suggested, she was like, just look up this website that like throws you a bunch of words to rhyme with. I didn't even know that existed. But now that I have it, I'm like, while I'm writing, I'm like, oh,
Wives
this
are
is,
so awesome.
this is helpful.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what got me.
It's nice to have a wife. Yeah,
got
but
me. I'm
it's
like, oh my gosh.
how do I rhyme with this?
Yeah.
There's a website
And
for
I-
you, idiot.
And at the end of the day, I guess that's what it all is. It's just a tool. AI is going to be a tool
That's
for
the
every
idea,
musician.
right.
It's,
Well, it can't. I mean, like,
Inspiration.
it can be, but I do fear that people are going to.
Well, I mean, look at
take
the
advantage.
look at the what's what I'm looking for. The autotune stuff, right?
Look it up on the
if it's
Rhyme
like
website. And
if you use it as a cool idea or instrument or
gone
inspiration
away.
for one thing, versus do you use it because you cannot sing?
yeah.
Right.
This is
that
a good
idea.
line from
And-
our chat room. This is a really good one. Baby Bull says, tons of artists have ghostwriters, so I don't see why using AI would be any different than
Yeah.
that.
That's a solid
No,
observation.
It is.
And
If
then-
you're
and-
willing to do it for free and not pay a ghostwriter, I mean, cool.
And this is even better. He she continues. That being said, the authenticity of an artist creating their own art is appreciated.
You know
Right,
what?
right.
You know what? This
That's
is
well said.
As a songwriter, I
Okay.
don't know. Yeah, it is very well said. What I find interesting is I hear a lot of artists go, I co-wrote this song with somebody else.
Yeah.
And I've done that, but I don't do it a lot. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but it's also like, are you doing that as a shout out to them, or are you doing it to let everybody know that you didn't write the song on your own? Like, what's the angle? I'm not saying it's bad. It's bad. Like, that's what
Just
Nashville
depends on how selfish
Nashville
you
artists
are, right?
do that.
I'm selfish, so
Like,
I
I-
would say
yeah.
if Tyler went out and said, "There's a song I wrote," and he started playing it,
Yeah.
I'd be like, "I wrote it."
Well, and that's kind of like my whole point of always being like, with that song, Not Today, I always let people know that Tyler wrote this song because I want to, boost Tyler's, like, make sure that Tyler's confidence is like in that song because it's a really good song in my opinion.
But that will
And
always come
like,
back to you, in my
it'll
opinion.
boost, like,
yeah, that's
you
good
know, it
energy,
gives-
so it'll always
it-
come back.
Well,
Right.
and that was like even with like getting you to start singing, like start doing harmonies and start singing at our gigs, like that's something that not only do I get to take a bit of a break, but like Tyler's got a hell of a voice.
yeah.
And it's like, let's tap into that. I'm all about synergy.
Yeah.
You know?
We discussed that at our meetings.
Tom wants
Yeah,
to
we
take.
discussed that at our
He
meeting.
wants to take like center stage, and he's just not ready. he's just not. I can
Not
feel
yet,
it.
kid,
I
not
can
yet.
tell. He's like, you're just.
Well, he
not.
has an audition though,
You're
dude.
just not there.
Dan-
Now with this
Tom-
newfound switch to the wheelhouse,
Yeah.
we have some problems.
He has an audition for sure.
Yeah.
This guy just quit the show.
The only instrument I know how to play is trumpet, so it's going to sound
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. Is it mouth trumpet or is it an actual trumpet?
It's a butt trumpet.
Because we're looking for horns.
It's
We're
not
always
the answer you wanted.
yeah. It's not a Barry sax. If you got a Barry sax, you're our guy.
Do you know how to play anything other than trumpet? You can play bass,
And all
and
of-
you can play tippy tap on the drums.
and I can't really play it that well, and I don't want to practice.
Boomsticks.
So-
I call them boomsticks.
So what I come with is like, can you use this?
Well, I'll just use AI to insert the trumpet, and then you can put that I
It's
did
Jordan
that.
Foley and the Wheelhouse with digital trumpet provided by Tom Van. Not provided by Tom Van, provided by AI. So it's digital trumpet provided by Tom Van,
Yeah.
created by AI.
There it is.
Gordon Gekko and the Wheelhouse.
The opinions expressed by this one. Just like,
that was well said. It's like you've done that before.
Dude, we love it when
yeah.
you guys come
Yeah.
in. Thank
So
you again
let's
for
plug
doing
the
this.
upcoming
Absolutely.
shows.
Yeah, plug the show.
So we got 2 big shows coming up this month. Next Tuesday, Tyler and I will be playing at the new venue at Dr. Phillips Center, Judson's Live.
that place looks dope.
It is
Yeah.
so
He's
cool.
played?
I played there. Well, I got booked there, and in 4 days I had to like try to get people to go. Luckily, people turned out. It was really great.
Wow,
The
it's
sound,
such a nice venue.
It's such a beautiful venue. The sound quality is amazing. Great drinks. Great food. It's very like cocktail-esque,
Oh,
like
sweet.
where it's like it's just like you said. It's all like ritzy. you
Oh,
know?
nice.
Yeah.
It's very,
Hell
very
yeah.
nice. The stage is great. The quality's great. Highly recommended. Even if you don't get to come out next Tuesday and see us, like go check it out. We have a handful of friends who've been playing that. But Tuesday, April 9th, 7 and 9:30 will be mine and Tyler's set for that.
That's
So
awesome.
we're very excited about getting to play that together and make that happen.
Yeah. Bunch of originals, bunch of covers.
Yeah,
Good time.
just a bunch of everything that we're
Cute
just gonna
on-stage banter, our
yeah,
thing.
the whole bit for sure.
Do you work on your banter?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
We don't either.
There are many times after an on-stage conversation we'll go like, "Thanks for coming to our podcast."
Yeah, you
'Cause
can
it'll
ask-
be
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a long.
Yeah.
You could ask Tom about the
Long-winded.
time
I do
got
have
on-
similar bit. Like I'll use the same bits over and over.
I'm unpredictable. I went on stage at a John Lennon tribute, and I said, "Why are all these underage girls in bikinis?" I did something. It was something like
Just drop her an 80 and
Do you
walk
remember
out.
that? And then
I remember.
I'm a bit of a loose cannon.
I'm a wild card. You don't know what I'm gonna say next.
No one knows where I'm going.
So that's next Tuesday, Judson's Live, and then we are opening for the legendary band from the '90s, mainly. They just came out with an album a couple years ago. It's also very good. But the Wallflowers will
They're
be coming
killer.
to the Plaza
Great
Live,
band.
and Tyler and I will be opening for them there. So tickets are still available. They are going, from what I've noticed. They're starting to go pretty quickly.
Killer.
It's a wonderful opportunity for us just to get to share the stage with those guys.
Awesome.
So very much looking forward to that. And then that's it. Like those are the 2 focuses right now.
Dig it.
Come May, we're gonna be going back into the lab with the band and writing more music. And I have a bunch of songs that are like they're half songs, they're not full. So like we want to tap into those and make that happen. And get back in there. I also have some solo songs that I'm like trying to get into the studio, and like while we're writing, I want to like come out with some solo stuff. If you never heard of Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats,
Yeah, absolutely.
he does that where he's like he has a full band, and they come out with awesome music, and then he also comes out with singer-songwriter solo albums. And so like for me, that's kind of like what my angle's going to be, is like I just want to put out music that I think fits both avenues. But in terms of like what's coming up, those 2 shows,
Awesome.
if you can make it out, that'd be great. Thank you, Orlando. And
We'll
thank
do
you,
it.
Tom and Dan.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Yeah,
guys
no
so much for
problem.
having us again. We love coming out here.
Yeah, we'll
It's
do
always
it
so
again.
much fun.
We'll do it. We'll just start having you guys in. Come in.
We could be regulars, man. I mean,
Yeah,
Hey,
you say the word.
We could be heroes, Wallflowers.
That's
That's how good I am.
From the Godzilla soundtrack.
Yeah, from the Godzilla. That's how
right.
good I am.
I
My
had
mind
that
is
on
working
CD.
again. I'm sober.
Jordan, Tyler, thanks so much for
Thank
coming.
you, Tom and Dan.
We
Appreciate
All
you
right,
guys.
y'all. Guys, we'll see you
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. We did it. That's
good.
Still on YouTube and Twitch, but great job, y'all. That
Yeah,
was,
thank you.
That was exactly what we needed.
So, what we'll do is we'll take what we recorded for Monday 3 and 4, and we'll move that to. I'll tell you once we. So, but
playing the wrong
I'm just gonna save it.
yeah.
It'll be
Okay.
fine.
But we'll just play that Monday 3 and 4, and then move that.
That's right,
Monday
right.
3 and 4 we already recorded to Tuesday 3 and 4.
Do we have a 1 and 2? We don't, right?
No, because
I couldn't hear it.
And 3 and 4 were already cut up. We'll change those. Yeah, this will work. I
Yeah.
got it. This will work.
so if you want to save that for Tuesday 3 and 4 now, and then we'll just flop them.
So save this for Tuesday. Save Jordan for Tuesday, or show the other ones for Tuesday.
Whatever.
Well, are the other ones already saved for Monday?
They are, but I can change. It's just a name.
Oh,
It's
okay,
not a-
yeah.
it's
I was
not
just
a-
gonna say swap them.
So put 3 and 4 Monday for Tuesday, and make that Monday 3 and 4. Gotcha.
Yeah. This segment we just
I
recorded.
know that sounds redundant, but that's how I have to do it in my dumb little brain. All right, that needs an edit. Cool. Thank you guys again, y'all.
Thank you guys again.
It's so fun, man.
Always fun to be out.
Hey, and when you have your parties, you want to play them. We're down. You say the word.
We're very interested in that.
Yeah,
in
like-
fact, we've got a meeting for that coming up in the next couple of
Say
weeks.
the
So
word. We'd love to get the
I'll
bands
get
on
you.
that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
When do you have an idea of like when that'll be?
Well,
this year?
we got maybe something in November.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys are.
We're wide. I mean, like,
open
come-
this November this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely open as of
good
now.
little
Tyler's getting married that month.
Hey, awesome, dude.
Okay.
While you were saying, while I was like, yeah. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, we have nothing. We're wide open.
It's around
Nothing
Thanksgiving.
important.
November 16th is the Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're getting married at 1902 in Sanford.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it'll be exciting.
Where are you getting married at?
1902.
1902. Used
Oh,
to be
right
that
on.
School.
Yeah.
Used to be like an old school.
Okay.
That's a nice spot.
Also, I live out this way. I don't live in Sanford anymore. So this was
Okay.
like I drove 10 minutes from Milk District.
Same, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you must like.
We both moved this way. We were both in Sanford last time we talked, so I think it's nice to be out here.
Yeah.
So we're down to talk anytime you want to do like a
Okay.
regular like.
Yeah.
We
Down
could
off
come-
Alp Range 436.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, thank you.
Love you guys.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Dan.
Thank
As
you,
always,
guys.
Thank you both so much.
Man, let's do it again because it's like it's good energy to have live music in here. Even if we just talk shit and you guys just want to play a song that's not yours that you just like, I don't give a fuck.
Down for that.
Let's just hang out and
How we make our money.
yeah, let's just talk.
You just have like you have a wide range of music taste. Like
My-
you
my-
hit me up and you're like, I'm going to John Moreland. I was like, dude, that's right.
Of course.
Yeah, he's my favorite songwriter
Same,
of
bro.
all time. Like he's the
He's
Yeah,
up
but
there.
we
I
could
just
make that
did a
one.
Barley and Vine. I did a show where I played my favorite songwriters, and he was one of them.
he's just like I did cry. You asked me if I cried that night, and I absolutely did.
I bawled like
Yeah.
a
We
baby.
cover Salsa Blue.
Yeah, we do
Oh,
South
wow.
Blue.
That's a
We'll
fun
do
song
that.
to
We'll
play,
do that on
like,
Tuesday.
guitar. Yeah.
There are ones that I want to play of his. I do not have the acumen to pull that off. I'm still working on my finger picking.
It's
Oh, yeah,
not
yeah.
easy. I
Um,
just learned You Don't Care for Me Enough to Cry and Hang Me in the Tulsa County Stars.
That is my personal favorite song of his. Is "Hang Me in the Tulsa County."
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And Losing Sleep Tonight. I did Losing Sleep Tonight.
Oh,
Which is a
man.
good one. Yeah, dude. When he played that, I was like,
Yeah, that was a rough. That's a rough concert. I started thinking about my family. I'm thinking about my mom.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about my dad.
also Stone had
All the
the heavy drinks out. Those like cocktails. I had one of them and it like.
Yeah, I had one drink because I wasn't drinking. I had one drink, but I was way too high,
Yeah.
and that's why I was like, I gotta get out of here. I was
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
sad, and like,
we
and-
smoked,
holding on
we
to
were
air.
late. We were late. We smoked out in the parking lot. And I walked in. I was just like, oh my god. And then like about halfway through, I looked over and you were like in the same row as us.
oh, I didn't know that.
That's how
Shit.
I knew you were there. It was literally like towards the end. I was like, oh my god.
Were my eyes rolled back in my head because at one point I remember I was just kind of laying there and I was listening to him, but I was having a moment, man. I
Yeah.
remember kind of looking around and just like hearing him and like. And his tattoos, like even now, he's got the barbed wire.
Yeah.
He did-
Yeah.
I'm like, that's aggressive as hell.
Also, he's like super active on social media now, which is awesome. He's
It-
doing like live streams. And
From
he's
his
like,
car.
Yeah, man.
Is it
it's
because of the
fucking
acoustics?
Rad.
I wouldn't be surprised. If
Well, I would-
Yeah, with the glass. Glass
Yeah,
helps. I mean,
yeah.
well, it can hurt too, but you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's been he's doing great.
He's the
I'm
man.
loving that. I'm glad I got to finally see him.
me too.
I missed 3 of his shows before. Once because my uncle passed away. It was he was opening for Iron and Wine. At
Oh my God, what a
Beach
lineup!
Under the Social.
That's a hell of a lineup.
I had tickets. I was so excited. Had to go up to Pittsburgh for a funeral, so I had to sell the tickets. And yeah, 3 times. Another time was in Asheville. I was gonna see him at the Great
That's me
Eagle.
with Faith No More, which
Oh,
really
okay.
sucks because
Yeah,
I don't
it
think
does
I'll get to
suck
do
to
that
see when
again.
You never
Yeah.
know when they're
You
gonna
know,
play.
I had tickets for the Edge, believe it or
Oh,
not. That's
really?
how old I am. And then there was 2 other shows that were smaller, like weirdo shows.
Yeah.
One was not Mr. Bungle, another incarnation, one of his other bands, Tomahawk. Tomahawk. And I
If you're
missed
not
that.
doing anything next Saturday, Josh Malloy is coming to Toughies.
Let me write that
He's pretty good. There's
And-
a lot of good shows coming around this
Yeah,
year.
and we work with Toughies.
Well,
so-
and the guy who's booking for them now, Andrew
Mm-hmm.
Hall, he's just bringing in Morgan Wade's coming.
Sold out. I wanted to
Sold
go
out.
so
I don't
bad.
think we're even able to go.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it sucks. Like we were really.
That's
screwed
quick.
on that.
Yeah, I hate the ones that sell out super quick. I thought John Moreland would do that. It didn't.
It did.
Yeah.
Like it
Ponte Vedra is a weird.
That's a-
location,
that
though.
venue
It's
is-
such a hike.
that is a weird venue.
Like when you were like, "Oh, I'm staying out here," I was like, "We should have stayed out here."
Well,
We
yeah,
had to get
and that's
back
why
the
I
next
needed to
day.
get the hell out of there, man. I was just like, there were, and people were like, the people in the back were like zombies. They were drinking and sad,
Yeah.
and then the urinals were on the floor because it was like a converted church.
Yeah,
So I had
yeah.
pee all over my shoes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna go
Get outta
home.
here.
It was
Yeah.
wild. Yeah.
Awesome.
That was was great.
We always appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, thank you,
Anytime,
man.
y'all. Cheers. Have a
Thanks,
great
man.
rest of your day.
You
And
too.
then I'll hit you up, have you back in if that's okay.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
I'll just hit you up, and then
Shoot me a
we'll
text.
get you
Do
next
Do you
month.
have my number now?
I don't. Here, not here. Here, just write it on that piece of paper, and then I'll throw it in my phone. Yeah, we did that by accident the other night. We
we're
had
like-
somebody.
Are we still on?
Yeah, we stay on because we get penalized if we go off because getting people back is
Right.
terrible. Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
man, shoot me a text.
You got it. I will see you soon. Thanks for hanging out with us today, y'all. Oh, I guess we're at lunch. I'm assuming we're going to lunch now. So, hey, guys, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you so much for being such good sports and chilling out with us. And we will see you guys after lunchtime. So get something to eat, and we'll be back.